Hello, everyone! And after a really long time of waiting, we finally received the second part of episode 14 of Skibidi Saga by Maxedy. And in case you don't remember, Maxedy used to face a huge issue with uploading his new Skibidi Multiverse videos on YouTube due to the activities of FZCO Fraud Company, which targeted Boom and his channel in the first place, but lots of smaller Skibidi toilet creators' channels got affected too. But now the issue seems to be finally resolved, and we can check the continuation of episode 14. So Titan Specker Man is back now with glory. And what kinds of upgrades did he get? And what lies in the future for the alliance that got the Skibidi scientists' help now? And will Astro Toilets be actually defeated? So if you want to learn all the details and secrets that I found in it, then get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end because it's going to be a blast. And let's go! And also be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you're interested to see more cool analyses of different Skibidi multiverses. Okay, so if you're subscribed now, let's continue. But considering how long ago the first part of it was posted, let me refresh your memory and tell you within 1 minute what happened in the beginning of that episode. So in the first part of the episode, we turned out to be at the Specker Man's base in Florida, where the Specker Man's armada was being prepared, which also included the upgrades for Titan Specker Man. And there we heard a pretty tense conversation that happened between a group of cameramen and a Specker Man. And the topic was old grievances over the Specker Man's neutrality during the Siberia raid. And in case you don't remember, the whole point of that raid was to take revenge over Titan Cameraman's passing, which in its turn happened due to G-Man's and Skibidi scientists' actions. And even though all the races, including cassettemen that are usually neutral, took part in this raid and fought first with Skibidi toilets and then with Astro Toilets too, all that Specker Man did were sitting on their bases with popcorn buckets, so to speak. And even though they kind of had their own reason for doing so and not participating in the raids organized by Plunger Man and Titan TV Man, they still sounded cocky as hell in this conversation. So no wonder that the cameraman who was calling those Specker Men out got mad, and eventually the whole argument escalated into a physical fight, which showed us that the Alliance has plenty of inner unresolved issues. And even though that Skibidi scientist agreed to help the organization against Astro Toilets and became their ally just as G-Man, it still doesn't mean that all of the Alliance's troubles are gone. And something tells me that this whole discord between Specker Men and cameramen will continue to be an issue even in the future episodes. Meanwhile, inside the Specker Man's facility, the Alliance's authorities were discussing how to find a cure from the Skibidi Toilet syndrome. And we could see how DJ Skibidi Toilet, their former enemy, now voluntarily assists them. And I must say, he looked pretty funny. One of the cameramen also discovers a mysterious severed Skibidi head with parasite-like features, which raised some questions about what it is and how the Alliance can use that. The episode then also shifted focus to the Specker Man's armada and their long-awaited military buildup. The cameraman seeks to see Titan Specker Man, who is meditating and preparing for the coming battle. And just in that moment, the alarm goes off as the whole wave of Astro Toilets found out this base and started attacking it. And that's when Titan Specker Man finally wakes up and gets ready to show all of these Astros who's in charge here. And now when your mind has been refreshed, let's move on to the second part of episode 14 and see what happened in it. So it starts with the big part of the Astro fleet that is literally try to melt the Specker Man's base to the ground with the really evil smiles on their faces. And from episode 13, we already got a confirmation that Astro Toilets are not the good guys at all. And it is possible that the Skibidi scientist's human family could be destroyed not by the faulty cameraman robot, but by Aster Detainer, exactly who was watching him for years. And now we see how Astros are excited to cause even more destruction and pain they already did. But thankfully, they had no idea who was about to come for them. But meanwhile, they managed to injure the protective barrier which worked as a defensive system for the Specker Man's base. And by the way, this whole scene was most likely inspired by the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 movie, where Voldemort also destroyed the protective barrier which held over Hogwarts. And just when the barrier started cracking up a lot and 2 more Astros appeared to destroy it completely, the upgraded Titan Specker Man literally jumped on them, and oh boy, that was epic. And in this moment, the camera shot was shifted for a few seconds to the Specker Man who was watching how Titan Specker Man was doing with his new upgrades. And apparently he was really impressed by what he just saw. And now we can finally see the upgraded Specker Titan in all of his glory. And Maxedy even pointed out his most significant upgrades in the comment section under his new episode. So according to Maxedy's words, the Titan Speakerman's new design now includes most of his weapons and machinery parts being retractable, and it was made for agility purposes. His blasters have also been replaced by Iron Man-like repulsion cannons, so they cannot be as easily removed by enemies, and it was made for agility purposes as well. Maxedy also pointed out how some other upgrades and abilities of Titan Speakerman haven't been revealed or fully implemented yet, but we'll definitely see them in the future episodes. Okay, and with this information in mind, we can check how the upgraded Titan flies into the air and then sends a powerful impulse of red energy into the shocked astro toilets that scream in terror before being completely obliterated. But somehow, one of these toilets managed to save his pitiful which maybe not really great in my opinion, because this guy now can reach the astro toilet's base and yap everyone about the upgrades that Titan Speakerman has gotten. And then astro toilets can try to hurt him sneakily or trap him somewhere, but that isn't clear for now though. In any case, Titan Speakerman will have an opportunity to have a lot of fun with the remaining astro toilets nonetheless. Then we see how he keeps pushing forward while blasting everything on his way with the usage of his energy repulsors. And then one of the angered astro destructors stands in front of him and tries to melt the Titan away with several impulses from his cannon. But in response to that, Titan Speakerman shows his new ability that really looked like the one that the big TV man used in episode 77 of Boom's series, after he got upgraded with 2 astro claws. And these claws allowed him to simply relocate the astro toilet's missiles and then send them into the ones who sent it, which was sick as hell. And now we can see how in Maxedy's universe, Titan Speakerman can also pull the similar trick without any of the astro claws even attached to him. Maybe the guy has a literal ability of manipulate by the object's gravity or something like this, huh? But whatever, I guess. So he sends all of the Astro's missiles into his face. But unfortunately, the guy barely moved because of how well protected he was in all of his armor. Astro Destructor sends 2 laser rays into his opponent. And that's when Titan Speakerman shows another of his new abilities called Laser Mode. So he sends his own ray of energy into the Astro, which is much more powerful and deadly. And it also looked incredibly anime-like, which wouldn't surprise me at all given how Maxedy likes taking inspirations from different anime fighting scenes. 2 lasers smash into one another, and in this moment we can see how the rest of the astro toilets were flying around those 2 madmen in circles. And for whatever reason they did that, it still looked extra cool. And then we see how Titan Speakerman detaches one of his arms and drives it towards the distracted Astro Destructor, who noticed how something is wrong way too late. So Titan Speakerman's arm literally fries the dude by blowing off his entire head, and man, that looks sick as hell. Then it gets attached to the Speakerman's body again, and yeah, Maxedy did not lie. This detachable stuff is actually really useful in battles. And now it is time for our Chad to deal with all these astro toilets trying to surround him. And thankfully, he has a trick for that too. So he makes 2 of his speakers behind his back to appear, and then cranks them up to the max. And the power of his sound is so powerful that it literally stuns and even hurts the smaller astro toilets next to him. Another Astro Destructor remains kind of unbothered though, and he then activates a shield too that protects its owner from the incoming red energy missiles. So Titan Speakerman realizes that it's time to play some melee mode, and with one immense punch, he breaks the whole shield of the Astro Freak down. Damn, this guy is really not to joke with, huh? And while Astro Destructor freezes on sight in shock, Titan Speakerman keeps blasting him with everything he has, and it looks pretty chaotic, but fun. He even turns the poor dumbass around and attacks his behind like, well, I guess I should let your imagination to make up for the rest. And after that, Titan Speakerman decides to pull off some fatality move, and for that, he materializes the red katana in his hands and then slices poor Astro Destructor in front of him like a cabbage head. But as it turns out, this is not the last opponent Titan Speakerman will have to deal with today. Because in the next scene, we can see a giant astro carrier towering over our Chad. But of course, the Titan was prepared for that too. So he flies higher into the air and creates a huge energy impulse that he sends right into the carrier's face. But the huge astro activates one of his smaller shields that repels the attack. And then he blasts the speaker Chad with 3 lasers altogether. But thankfully, Titan Speakerman has his own shield as well, and a pretty powerful one. And while he was protecting himself with the shield, his core was also creating just a huge energetic missile which looked like a literal meteoroid from far space or something like that. And well, based on the Astro Carrier's shocked face, he didn't expect a missile of such power at all, but it's too late to run away now. So Titan Specker Man's insane ult attack literally melts away the huge Astro's head and makes his body shatter like it was nothing. And then Titan Specker Man also poses in front of his enemy, exploding like the coolest kid on the block. And it was just a cherry on top for me. This episode really proved that Titan Specker Man is the Alliance's main hope and the secret weapon at the moment. And for now, he handles this role extremely well. He also looks prepared for any sort of trouble and doesn't look nervous at all, which made me really happy. Because in the previous episodes, we could see how Titan Specker Man was really depressed over Titan Cameraman's passing, just like Plungerman. But in the end, both of these guys managed to overcome their feelings and got back to being the Chads they always were. Okay, but this is not actually the end of the episode yet, because as Titan Specker Man stops posing like an action movie hero, he turns around and sees the UFO toilet, who is silently observing the whole thing all this time. And man, considering his facial expression, he's not happy at all about what he just saw. And then a second later, he teleports away without even trying to enter into another combat with Titan Specker Man. But it still didn't make the whole scene any less eerie. What will the UFO toilet plan to do next? And will Titan Specker Man manage to operate for long the way he is now? But there was also another detail in the ending scene that actually caught me off guard. Because as the UFO toilet disappears, Titan Specker Man lowers his head and then says, "Thank you." And well, the way he said it, doesn't it mean that he and the UFO toilet knew each other before? Was Titan Specker Man actually afraid of fighting with him? And if it's true, then why? This scene was actually really interesting, and I'm wondering what you guys think about this ambiguous ending. And that was all for today. Don't forget to write in the comments